Well, friends, I am Dr. M. Jayaraj. I have been imparting verbal aptitude in this reputed institute for quite a long time. Now I'm here to expound, explain, illustrate the recent GATE 2021 Civil Engineering morning session paper. If you have any doubts, clarifications while going through the paper, now I am here to throw significant light on these questions so that you can cross check and see whether the given answers are right or wrong. I firmly believe that all of them might have given the right answers. So friends, now I'll go step by step, question by question, and explain and expound it. And see, while I'll go through the paper, cross check and see whether the given answer is right or wrong. The moment you look at this question, you feel like attempting it, but simple in its conception, a bit complex in its execution. This question has been taken from the chapter Adjective. The question has appeared from the chapter Adjective, students. So, as you know, in adjectives, there are 3 degrees of comparison: positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. So, the question has been taken from the chapter Adjectives, which means GATE has focused its attention to the core of the syllabus. Now, here we go with the question. Getting to the top is dash than staying on top. The moment you look at the question, it is simple in its conception, but complex in its execution. So, this question, as I have already pointed out, students, this question has appeared from the given contents, that is chapter Adjective. So, this question has appeared from the chapter Adjective. So, as you know, chapter Adjective, if you look a bit deep into that, you will find 3 degrees of comparison: positive degree, comparative degree, superlative degree. So, what did you find here, students? In the positive degree, you find the word easy, easier, and the superlative degree is easiest. It is very easy, students. Now, come on, let us see. A simple concept: whenever you look at a sentence, we have after fill in the blank than, THAN, than. So, what does than indicates? Positive degree, comparative degree. Minimum requirement of comparative degree is, generally you will find THAN, than. That is the minimum requirement, than. And superlative degree preceding, the minimum requirement is article the. So, what shall we select now here? Since we have the word than, definitely you would like to go for option B, that is comparative degree, students. So, getting to the top is easier than staying on top. Definitely, easier is absolutely the right answer. As I said, because in the comparative degree, the minimum requirement is than. However, there might arise a sort of a confusion among some of the students that previous year in GATE 2020, a question appeared like this sort of, and there was a lot of confusion. The confusion is nothing but Supposing when two qualities of the same person are compared. So what do you mean by when two qualities of the same person are compared? For example, let me talk about a boy, maybe what we call it as, let me call what we call it as maybe Ram. Maybe he has two qualities. Let me call it as, one side Ram is wise, the other side Ram is strong. I'm just trying to remove that doubt, students. If you come across that Ram possesses the quality of being wise and Ram possesses the quality of being strong. Now I want to say that Ram has two qualities. He is wise, at the same time he is strong. But I want to compare and say that wise is more than being strong. So in such a case, how I should compare? Here there is a confusion, students, like here there is a confusion. Now in such a case I have to say Ram is, I have to say, more wise than strong. Now here is the confusion, students, like now just to be careful now. Now what degree I have used here now? You see here, this is positive degree. Positive degree, students, like generally what we call it as like. So generally we use the word what we call it as very, and we use what we call it as comparative degrees. We use before that much. So we find here what we call it as, students, like now much easy. Anyway, you cannot say much easier because positive degree will take very easy. So much has to be activated before comparative degrees, like. So therefore much easy is wrong, students, like now. So much easy is what we call it as wrong. Now more easy. Now just now as I said what we call it as, students, like now you see now more wise than strong. So there is a confusion that this could be the answer. Some students may tend to think this could be the answer also. You may tend to think more easy. So positive degree, now you see here now more. This is positive degree. And just before that we have more. Try to understand, please. So positive degree and before that what we call it as more. So when two qualities of the same person are compared, activate positive degree, prefixing the word more. But in this sentence, students, like we don't have two qualities of the same person, just like is wise person and then what we call it as is strong. No, what we have here is not the qualities. We don't have the qualities like. But there are two different things we can call it as. One is getting to the top. The other one is what we call it as staying on top. So that is not the quality of adjectives. So therefore, here what we have to choose is absolutely what we call it as easier, because there are two things being, separate things being compared. Like one is getting to the top, the other one is what we call it as staying on top, students, like. And D absolutely cannot be the choice, because when there is a comparative degree than here and the superlative degree will take what we call the easiest. So we don't have any superlative degree here. So therefore the right answer is easier. Getting to the top is easier than staying on top. So this is absolutely the right answer, students, like. So I just said a sort of a confusion, like some students may tend to think, is it the two qualities of the same person or thing? No, that is not the two qualities. Had it been two qualities of the same person or thing, then we need to choose option C. But they are two different entities and two different things, students, like. So therefore, this cannot be the answer. So the right answer is easier. So I suppose most of you might have answered this question, students, like now. Right. Now I'll go to the next question. of verbal ability, students. Now, this question appeared from the chapter, students. So, first of all, you see a small sort of paragraph and followed by a question. This question appeared from the content reading and comprehension. So, this question appeared from this bit, students. So, this is the new, what we call it as, students, like the syllabus, new syllabus that has been given to us, that is reading and comprehension. So, it's a small passage and in which a question has been raised. So, in reading comprehensions, there are different kinds of questions like main idea, inference questions, gist, summary, the best title of the passage, true to the passage. So, these are some of the questions that can be raised from the chapter, from the content, that is reading and comprehension. So, what we got, the question is, let us look at this question, students. Yeah. So, that question appeared. What is the question here? Based on the above passage. You see, this is a small given passage. Which one of the following is true? So, given true to the passage. What do you mean by true? True or false? What is true from the passage? You need to state it. What is false? We need to avoid, students. So, what first of all we have to what we have to see in the passage? First of all, students, true to the passage. Anything that is contradicting, you have to eliminate it. Anything that is not given in the passage, we have to eliminate it. So, two things keep in mind. Something which is contradicting the passage, we have to eliminate. Number 1 point. Something which is contradicting, eliminate. Number 1, students, elimination. Elimination. So, what is elimination, students? First one, something which contradicts. Something which contradicts, we have to eliminate. Number 2, something I call it as out of scope, I call it as out of scope. Out of scope means the passage has not highlighted. So, that also we have to eliminate, students. Shall we go with the small passage, students? I think most of you have done this one and I think you will be awarded 2 marks for this one. Here we go. Humans have the ability to construct worlds entirely in their minds. Definitely. Only human beings have the power or the ability or the skill to construct something in our mind about the world. In other words, you imagine. Okay, humans have the ability to construct worlds entirely in their minds, which don't exist in the physical world. So, there is a comparison going on. The physical world and human beings. So, there is difference. So, what is that the ability that human beings have which does not have in the physical world? So far as we know, means we human beings know, what do we know? No other species possesses this ability. So, there is a comparison is going on, maybe physical world, we human beings, and let us maybe call it as animals. The human intellect that we have, animals may not have. So, that's what he says, as far as we know, no other species possesses this ability. So, what is that ability? Let us see. That ability is nothing but the skill. This skill is so important that we have different words to refer to its different flavors. So, what is that? This skill is so important that we have different words. So, the skills can be referred or given different flavors. What is that? This skill is so important that we have different words to refer to different flavors. What are these different flavors? Such as imagination, invention, and innovation. Okay, wonderful. No doubt that human species have these three skills or these three abilities, we can call it as. So what he says is there is a comparison is going on that human beings possess these skills like imagination, invention and innovation. In other words, no other species on this earth possesses these three abilities. So let us see the question now. Based on the above passage, which one of the following is true? True. You see the capital here? True. Something should be true to the passage. What is that something true to the passage and what is that something false to the passage? Here we go, students, like step by step we will see. Option A, no species possess the ability to construct worlds in their minds. But the paragraph says humans. Are you able to understand, students, now? So humans have the ability to construct worlds in their minds. Human beings are there. They have the ability to construct. And what the option A says? No species on this earth possesses the ability to construct worlds in their minds. Which means this is what we call it as contradicting the passage. Which means this is false. Where the passage says there are human beings and the option says no species. So which means you can easily eliminate option A, students. We can easily eliminate option A. Let us come to option B. We do not know of any species other than human who possess the ability to construct mental worlds. What the passage is trying to say? Human who possesses the ability to construct mental worlds. Humans have the ability to construct entirely in their minds. Which means that is true to the passage. And option B also, we do not know of any species other than, definitely, which don't exist in the physical world entirely in their minds, which don't, so far as we know, no other species possesses this ability. We do not know of any species. Let us wait. Very true to the passage. Let us wait. See, the terms imagination, invention, the terms imagination, invention and innovation, no doubt, such as imagination, invention and innovation refer to unrelated skills. But we are talking about skill. This skill is so important. And which means this is unrelated. So which is not true to the passage. Again, this is contradicting. So therefore, option C also we have to eliminate. Unrelated he says. But there he says the skill, though so important, of different words refer to different flavors such as, which means there is a reference to these ones, they are related. Shall we go with the D option, students? Imagination, very good, there is. Invention, good. And innovation are unrelated to the ability to construct mental worlds. Almost C and D. Whereas he says, the ability to construct worlds entirely in their minds. And he says imagination, innovation are unrelated. But whereas he says, have different flavors, different words such as imagination, innovation and all. This skill is so important that we have different words. And what does this say? Imagination, invention and innovation are unrelated to the ability to construct mental worlds. He says unrelated. If you don't have relation, then how can you construct worlds entirely in their minds? Which means this is also contradicting the passage, students. So therefore, this also cannot be your option. So the right option is B. We do not know of any species. It is there already now. As far as we know, no other species is equivalent to we do not know of any other species. Then compared to humans who possess, here he says, clearly says, humans have the ability to construct students' life. Well, students, I suppose most of you instrumentation students might have marked these two questions, and I believe that you have gone through these questions and you might have attempted very well. So I wish you all the best. I also wish you that you will definitely cut a very good figure in these two questions. Thank you.